Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd love to share with you my special moment visiting the Yanhuang Art Museum. Here I met an old master undercover in disguise as a random old man. Yanhuang Art Museum in Beijing is Beijing's first probably large modern art museum built in 1986 and opened in 1991. It's a not-for-profit, privately run under the state ownership museum. I booked a ticket to see an exhibition. The ticket was free. The opening ceremony was tedious, by far the most boring of them all. Because of COVID, they could not serve any beverage or set up any tables, and they were just a bunch of people sitting in chairs. I did not know who they were. I guess they were important because of the cameras around, so many of them. The only interaction between the artists or invitees or the visitors was a nod of the head after a long and awkward introduction. No, I did not pay attention to any of that. As soon as the curtain was lifted, I rushed to see the artworks. The exhibition would only last 2 days. In a period of 10 days, 3 separate exhibitions would rotate. This exhibition, landscape from 10th to 12th of December, birds from 14th to 16th of December, portraits from 18th to 20th of December. Each starts with an opening ceremony and ends with a symposium. For those of you who do not know anything about Chinese landscape paintings, here are some basics. Just a disclaimer, I'm no expert in this domain. I'm just a Chinese person. Correct me if I'm wrong. Landscape paintings, or Shanshui, started out as background paintings for portraits. Later, it went solo as an independent niche and began to develop in the 5th century. Unlike in the West, there wasn't a standardized perspective like the vanishing point or the orthographic projection. Artists could express themselves freely. Painting Shanshui was not considered something useful or practical, but rather poetical, philosophical, mystical, experimental. Shanshui is not a technique, it's a branch for Chinese paintings, just like landscape painting in the West. There are so many different styles and techniques, and that's why you could see a diverse collection of works here. I noticed a work that was very different from any other works by artist named Shixun Pan, a name I have never heard of. I went straight to this little hidden corner and stared at a painting for quite a few minutes. Suddenly, next to me came an old guy. He wore thick glasses and a worn-out hat and uncombed hair. He asked me, "What do you think of those works?" I slapped my thigh like this. A common expression in China when expressing strong emotions. Don't worry, we only slap our own thighs. And I told him how much I loved those works and those were my personal favorites, that I loved how this Chinese style was blended with Western techniques. He smiled at me and said, "Oh, those were mine, but I'm not exactly a watercolor painter." I was so surprised. I started talking to him. I had so much fun exchanging my ideas with him. I learned that he was an oil painter from CAFA, Central Academy of Fine Arts, and he went to École Nationale Supérieure des Beaux-Arts in Paris. But quickly enough, a group of 20 people surrounded us with cameras. I knew he was important, he was famous, kind of, but I did not really know how much. In fact, he was an old master, a grand master. Born in 1934 in Jilin province, he graduated from CAFA and spent 5 decades teaching, functioned as the dean of oil painting department at CAFA. Those works I saw were some experiments after retiring. His oil painting techniques translated very well in those watercolor paintings. What a humble master. I'm so flattered to have had shared a private moment with him, exchanging ideas. It's not about the titles, not about the medals or money or the fame. When I told him how much I enjoyed those works, he was very happy, so happy and so pure in the simplest way possible, and I'm just happy myself to be able to express that without all of that burden. I initially planned to move out of the way for the interview, but I was stopped by a cameraman because I was the only one to bring a video light. Now that I'm the gaffer, at least you can hold it. My visit ended with a symposium that was open to the public. You can see artists sitting around the tables, like a rectangle round table discussion, if that makes sense. The topics weren't really my concern, but I really enjoyed this open format. Now that I'm completely okay with the boring opening ceremony. Like the popular saying, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Alright, that was my day. If you enjoyed this exhibition, or if you would like to see more exhibitions about Chinese art, Chinese artists, leave me a comment below. Thank you very much for your time. See you soon.